Hey, what's up, guys? All right, we are doing another lesson today with Dor here. I'm in town for like a week, so I'm gonna try to do some lessons this week. And Dor recently just had an over the board tournament, which I actually haven't really asked about. So it was 5 rounds, right? And how did you do
Yeah, it was
overall?
5 rounds.
Yeah.
I did a 2 out of 5, which is okay, I guess, because I was the lowest rank there. It was
Hmm.
1900 and above tournament.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. I wasn't happy with my games at all. At all. I mean, I won games I shouldn't have. I mean, I didn't have any business winning, and I lost the
Hmm.
game I had all the business winning. So yeah, that's why I'm disappointed from my chess
So what was
overall.
your FIDE going into the tournament?
My FIDE is about 1800. It was a national rating. So my
Hmm.
national rating was 1902, which is exactly above the range they gave. So
Hmm.
they let me in the main tournament.
Oh, nice. And then how much did you end up gaining?
I gained about, I think FIDE I gained a lot more because my FIDE is a bit underrated, but
Yeah.
the national rating got up by 6 or 7 points. It's not a lot. But,
Oh, I see.
as long as I'm rising, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's cool. You get some nice experience, and your rating doesn't, you don't have to pay with your rating to get some
Yeah,
experience.
exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I figured we could just analyze some games. We can start with any game you think would be interesting, or you kind of want some maybe some insight on. Uh,
Mm,
I'll let you choose.
let me choose. Oh, wow. That's a tough one. I guess I should choose one of my losses because, yeah, that was painful. Mm, I mean, the first two game, the first game and the third game was time scrambles losses, which I had an advantage and I just blundering. I guess we can look at them, but it's kind of confusing because whenever I got outplayed, except the second game, maybe we should analyze the second game because there I got outplayed. I fell from the opening and I didn't have any counterplay.
Mm. Well, yeah, that sounds
And
like an important game.
yeah, and then when I got some counterplay, just erased it immediately and I lost.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, why don't we look at either game one or two?
This is game two. Game two
Okay.
that I'm talking about.
So I'll put it in. I'll find it real quick.
Yeah. All right. It's also a shorter one because I really had no counterplay at all and it crushed me like
Yeah. Okay,
it
so
was
let
a
me
bad one.
let me update the names here. So you're playing Yuri. Oh,
Yeah,
he
exactly.
sounds good, not gonna lie.
Yeah, Yuri is a good name. He's actually really old. I mean, he's an old guy. He's about 76 years old. He's
Hmm.
still playing very, very tough. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Man, those guys can be tough. Okay, so let's just go through this real quick. So you're playing black here. C4, H6, takes, knight
Yeah,
C3.
already
Okay.
here I was, I mean, here I was fine because we were supposed to a line in the Rogozin, I kind of know, but before that it was sort of a Rogozin and I didn't really know the differences between, I mean, when the knight is on C3 and when it's not on C3. So I try to
Yeah.
play to go for it. And for example, I'm not sure about H6 at all.
Right. Yeah.
It's
So is the Rogozin like your like normal repertoire?
yeah. I mean, I started to do it after Chessable. So yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, I
Rogozin is
imagine
kind.
like the most. direct move here would be like maybe just bishop b4 check, and then
Hmm.
you just kind of ask the opponent what he wants. Like, because if they play knight c3, then okay, you have your Rogozin, you're totally fine. But if they do something different, then h6 may or not be useful for you here.
Yeah.
Although to me it looks like a perfectly logical move too.
Oh, it's not losing on the spot, of course, but yeah.
Yeah, and then I mean, if white doesn't have anything better than knight c3, like is this the line you would normally play in the Rogozin?
If they go for the bishop g5 line, so yeah,
Right. So
that's
if we
the
had
line.
like here, so you'd play h6 here.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so yeah, you're already willing to have this position like in your normal repertoire, so it seems pretty solid. Yeah, I don't really see how white can punish you here.
Hmm.
Um, like putting the knight on d2 doesn't seem to be so active for white, but maybe some minor difference. But okay, opponent doesn't really take advantage, just goes for this line. So how deep did you know this one from here?
Mm, not as we can say it, not that well because he crushed me really fast. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I know that queen a4 is a move, also queen b3, and I know that knight c6 always has to be played there,
Mm-hmm.
protect the bishop. Um, and there I always get confused because sometimes I mean, when the queen is on a4, so b6 is not a plan, b6 and bishop to b7. But when the queen is on a4, I should castle and do something. I mean, I should move the queen around the sixth row in some manner, and I'm not sure how and when. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Gotcha.
didn't do it in the game. I mean, we should move it to create some counterplay or to help the queen side sometimes. That's what I remember, but I didn't do it in the game, and it turns out really bad really quick.
Yeah, I mean it's actually like it's kind of a venomous structure because it's basically like Carlsbad, right?
Yeah,
But white has gotten you to put your knight on c6 where it's not very well placed. In fact, it's really awkward because then like white just builds up on the c file and your knight just ends up feeling under pressure. And then the d5 pawn is weak because black has a hard time getting c6 in. On the other hand,
yeah,
white gave up
exactly.
the dark squared bishop, so that's kind of like some long-term advantage for you.
So that's exactly what you're gonna see in the game. I mean, that's exactly. And I didn't know how to deal with it, and maybe you could give me some advice about it.
Yeah, definitely. I've mainly played these positions from white side because I everything I just said, it's like this is what I what I like about these
Yeah,
positions for white.
of
But
course.
I know these positions they defend them at the very top level, so they must be 100% solid. Um, the best I can do is I feel like the main plan is to put the bishop on e6, so you defend the d5 pawn, and then you can bring the bishop back to d6. And then I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the plan is to move the knight to e7 and to one day play c6. So you're trying to like fix your um,
My pawn structure.
structure. Yeah. Legion in the chat actually is saying something pretty useful. So in the chessable repertoire, the setup they recommend basically same thing except bishop d6 and a6 to cover the b5 square, and then knight e7, and yeah, again knight gets transferred to g6. So one of these two plans seems to be what black is doing here.
All right, I mean, that's solid. But I know, so, I mean, after the game, I looked in some games. There was actually a very nice game in the World Cup, the FIDE World Cup, the Women
Mm-hmm.
FIDE World Cup. It was Konstanuk against Pia Kramling.
Mm-hmm.
Konstanuk played the black pieces, and there it was very similar to this. And the move was not bishop to g4, but queen to g6, which is really surprising.
Huh.
Saying, all right, I'm going to counter attack and attack your g2 pawn. And you have trouble to develop your pieces now. And
Yeah.
from there you could go for the other plan. Yeah, that was a really nice move that I didn't know about
Oh, cool.
until after the game. Yeah. Um,
So
but
yeah, if
yeah,
this is working, then this is probably a good idea too. Yeah.
yeah, still need to work a bit on it, but yeah. But what you say sound logic. I mean, the bishop d6 plan and bishop to e6. Yeah,
Yeah.
very solid.
So
Definitely more solid than what I did.
right, we
Yeah.
end up here, and then so you take on c3. So you didn't want to play bishop e7, I guess.
No, I didn't want to play no bishop e7 and bishop to d6, of course, is not a possibility. I thought about bishop to e7 and I was kind of afraid about um, I mean, I'm letting him develop really quickly. I think knight b5, sorry, was my fear.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no good way to protect my c7 pawn. Yeah, so that's why I choose bishop takes c3.
Let's just see for a sec. What if you play like rook d7?
Mm, d7. I think I was afraid about even rook takes. Oh, rook takes c6 is not possible right now. Mm, what did I thought in the game? Mm, I mean, knight takes a7 is impossible. I mean, it is possible, but rook a8 is
Yeah.
13. Mm, maybe even knight to e4 looks, knight e5 looks interesting, but not sure it's working. Maybe knight e5, knight takes, pawn takes, and knight takes then on c7, I guess.
Oh, but
c7, no? Yeah, the
well,
queen protects, so wait a second.
no, 95 is interesting because you're hitting the bishop on g4.
Yeah, also the rook.
So black can't take on e5 here. Would have to
Yeah,
defend the bishop somehow, probably. Um, yeah, some complications here, like queen g6, and then c7 is hanging, but you also have like bishop e2 and queen takes g2. Uh, yeah, something that just feels very, very messy. Let's just go back a bit. So,
yeah. I mean, in the game, I didn't think at all about queen g6, which looks so. I mean, it's not natural, but I mean, it's such a nice idea, and I just completely didn't know about it completely.
yeah.
So I didn't even thought about the counterplay. So I just try to solidify my position, and no, it didn't work well.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like well, even if let's say rook d7, because yeah, I can kind of understand why you'd be a little bit afraid of that. Maybe rook c8 after knight b5 is feels like you should be okay because you have a6 to like kick the knight, but it is a little bit awkward. Like, yeah, you do want your bishop on d6, and bishop takes c3 is kind of like easier way out. But then we do give up our like let's say main advantage in the position, and so here I would say black is just kind of worse
yeah, definitely. I
without a
mean,
lot of upside. Yeah.
I knew that bishop takes c3 is okay in some positions in the Ragozin, but yeah, probably not when the rook is on c1, I guess.
Right. In some positions you like well, yeah, if I just plays it like here, for example, you would probably take on c3. I think you have to because otherwise d5 pawn's probably hanging.
Yeah,
And then here you get some compensation because of the structure is not as good for white. And you
Mhm.
have your fair share of squares here. Um, but yeah, with white having the C file, then it's basically now it just goes into like really nice like Queen's Gambit decline Carlsbad, which it's not like I'm not sure if you're losing, but it is already unpleasant, I would say.
Yeah, I felt like C7 is about to fall in any second. We can't move at all. I can't move the knight. I can't move.
Yeah.
Bishop to D7 is such a miserable move, but I didn't see anything better.
Yeah, I mean, right here, I think it would be great if, like, if you could just shift your knight to d6 and play c6, then I think your
Yeah,
position would actually be like totally fine. But it's really hard to get this in the way things stand right now. So he goes
I
queen
agree.
b3. Yeah, bishop c8, castles. And yeah, if you play queen d6, then I guess we're just not really in time to get
Yeah,
the
to
knight
deal with the
over.
car. Yeah, exactly.
Then like yeah, knight a5, queen a4. The knight is hanging, c7 is hanging, so it's just doesn't seem to be working. Yeah, yeah, it's tough. Then rook d7, I imagine we're just getting hit with bishop b5. That
Yeah,
just looks bad.
exactly the move I saw. Also, I was about A6 and bishop takes A6, which is always
Oh
sad.
yeah, another tactic exactly when the rook's there.
Yeah.
So okay, it's tough. Let's see, six
So I try to
b4.
hold, I try to kind of complicate the game, which I think I succeeded in complicating. I mean, I think I'm a lot worse here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, but yeah, let's see the game because
Yeah.
I had my chances and I just,
Oh wow. Okay, b5 definitely very committal. Um, but yeah, if you felt like you have to play it, then I don't know. Maybe we'll
yeah, I
come
would
back
stop
to it.
B4. I mean, B4 is a serious threat, I guess. And I thought if I play B5, I didn't see a great move for white. I mean, A4 was the only kind of break in the structure, and I don't know. And on Queen C2, I meant to play Bishop F5.
Right. Yeah, you always have this one.
Yeah,
Um, but let's just see. Like, let's say we trade these bishops.
all right. Bishop takes and something takes, Queen or Rook.
Yeah.
And and now maybe mm, I always have Rook to E6 to keep protecting, and Queen G6.
Hmm.
Trying to, I mean, still the knight is weak, and I will lose the C7 probably whenever I want. But maybe I have some play along the, I mean, Rook G6. If we trade queen, Rook F6, and I try to. I'm worse. I didn't see how to stop.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely worse. In fact, this feels actually quite nice. Like, let's just say, for example, even if white does this one, I'm thinking, let's say queen takes or rook takes. Even this position, we kind of like traded pawns, but we end up with like just really weak isolated pawn on d5, and we can say it's like a clear advantage for white.
Yeah,
Um,
it is an advantage, but at least I have a game,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah. Still, you would have your chances here to hold. But
Yeah,
maybe it's better for white to just kind of keep the pressure and just do something like knight d2, knight b3, and knight a5 one day, or knight c5. Um,
I agree. I
yeah,
definitely agree. Maybe, I mean, one of the bad things about 2000 and below is impatience. I mean, they want to do everything directly. I know
right.
it about myself.
Uh huh.
Yeah, here is an example. I mean, A4 is really committal, and yeah, his position is always good. I mean, he always has the pressure on C7. He doesn't have to do anything. Just let me suffer.
Right. See, you understand this as as black, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, even some move like, knight e1, knight d3, I think, right, you can build up the pressure a lot more. So yeah, a4, okay, you get your chance for freedom. So you take,
yeah.
rook takes, bishop d7, knight e5.
Yeah, and this I saw from night before. I saw that I have bishop d7 and knight e4, e5,
Mm-hmm.
and I plan to sacrifice the exchange. Actually,
Mm.
yeah, I need to give credit to um, E. Rosenberg. He had a game against the Scrubs, and he used the same. I mean, the same sacrifice, but he had it better performed because black. Uh, he had a black square bishop, which was
Right.
unopposed,
Mm-hmm.
and he got a lot of counterplay along the h2, and all the black squares got really collapsed, and the scrubs lost really quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I saw it not as with the same plan, but that's what I thought of. Yeah, if we play, so I can sacrifice, and it'll be worse, but I have chances, and I get some counterplay.
Well, I'm glad that you're trying stuff like this. Like, I feel like I would still take white, but like it's certainly annoying to kind of deal with this type of play.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah, I would say very interesting sacrifice. Let's see. So he takes, you push d4, rook c5, queen f6, e4, and then queen f4, bishop d3, takes,
Yeah, bishop
takes.
d3 was a mistake, I think, by my opponent.
Hmm.
Again, I don't really have anything special. I guess just taking. I mean, do threaten to take on e4, but it's not really a threat. Maybe play e4, e5 and just take on a6, and it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, if you're not
Um,
really threatening anything too serious, then
I mean, I do
stay
threaten
pawn.
d6, d3, sorry, in
Hmm.
some position, but after e5, not really. Not really. So giving me the bishop is not the right decision, I think.
Yeah, well, you get this nice b5 square.
Yeah. And here I actually thought I'm winning again, which is surprising. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, I didn't see how he stops it. So we got to this position, and here he had an incredible tactic, which I missed, fortunately.
Oh wow, I'm just seeing the notation. Man, so bishop a4, d6,
Yeah,
d2.
d6, I completely missed it, I think. I mean, I took rook takes b5 and play bishop a4 and think I'm winning. That's it. The game is over. We can go home. Yay, I won my higher rated opponent. And then it just splits out
Oh man,
d6, and I was, oh man.
yeah, bummer. How much time did you have?
I have plenty of time, but I mean, the move I played was kind of out of frustration, I guess, because I didn't see a move here. Just king f8 is never a possibility because of rook c8.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I would play f6, which is kind of more
Yeah.
resilient than what I played.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just play horrible move. I mean, yeah, no
What
excuse.
was there a reason you didn't like f6?
No, not particular reason. Just played out of, I mean, frustration. My next move. I mean,
Mm,
They didn't put it on the board, but yeah, that's a really bad move. I guess. I mean, I should try to hold this because it's not that easy to win for white. And I don't know. I don't know what I thought of there. I mean, I also played it really quick. Like there is no other move, which I'm disappointed of.
mm. Yeah, this
Hmm.
often happens when like you mess up and then you get frustrated and then it's like you like start playing quicker, but actually like you probably need to do the opposite. You need to like slow down and like be patient.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not even about like I thought I'm winning after playing bishop to a4. I thought that's it. It's game over, and it changes so dramatically. And wow, how did it happen? I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't even
Um,
thought it. I just let him play the the tactic that I saw, that, which is pretty, I guess. I mean, yeah,
right. Yeah, I guess yeah, just unfortunate miscalculation here. Um,
yeah. I
and
mean,
seeing
if I
this
would
one.
say d6, I would play king f8 and just block the pawn and keep my. I mean, after rook to 85, pawn
Oh yeah.
yeah. Here I would play king f8, and but I didn't even thought d6 is possible.
Yeah. Did you pause before bishop a4 or did you go like rook
No, no,
d5?
I blitzed
Yeah.
it. I mean, in a second, I play bishop a4 and think I'm winning.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough lesson, but it happens to everyone. And this is why you see players like they always double check even if you calculated it out like if you just take like a fresh look at the position, you would probably see like, oh, d6, wait, hold on, maybe there's something to double check here. And then you would get this urge to pause and then you would yeah, probably end up playing like king f8 and you're
Yeah,
okay.
very
Um
tough lesson.
yeah. Yeah, it happens though, but that's why Jesse always says like mistakes come in pairs because it's like sometimes the first mistake is just calculation, whatever, but that second mistake is like psychological. Like you're just kind of get caught up in the moment. Um,
Exactly, exactly.
and then if you don't take on d5 here, then like
I don't take on d5, I'm still feeling fine. I mean, rook, let's say, to e6.
yeah,
Hmm.
something like this.
To e6, I guess f3, yeah. And
Hmm.
I think it's holdable. I mean, I think trading rooks is the right decision because it is harder to play against two rooks, especially when my bishop is kind of static. I mean, you just try to hold the pawns. But maybe not. Maybe not.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't know.
normally I think you would actually want to keep your rook so that it's like more flexible, but here it's kind of a concrete thing because like if you can win the pawn with your king, then that's very nice for you
Yeah,
because your bishop will be like just as good as the rook. In fact, like if we just play a king takes d5, I assume black is just winning that position because your king, bishop, and pawns are just so strong, and you still have like this
yeah,
bishop a4
absolutely.
threat.
If I play King F8, I guess I'm just better because he can never move his rook because the two in D1 is too close.
Yeah, it looks good right now.
And yeah, perfectly good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
so
well,
disappointing.
oh well,
The
yeah. And then so yeah, the point was rook d1 white has and can't take because of d7. And
yeah,
so because of this, white wins the d pawn and defends d6. So now it's feels very difficult to possibly hold. Yeah, pretty
and
much
here
just
he
lost.
show, yeah, he showed the technique, I think, pretty well.
Yeah, just bringing the king on the dark squares.
Yeah,
And then
I thought I still can hold it, but I mean, I thought it's hard for him, but no, it wasn't. Wasn't at all. I mean, he blitzed all his last 10 moves in
mhm.
instantly. I mean,
I mean, he probably has a lot of winning plans. I would say without the D pawn, then maybe it's somewhat tricky for white, but like probably still good winning chances. But with the D pawn, I think yeah, it's like just walks in
it's
and
too
just
easy.
takes something. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So yeah, earlier had black been able, if black could play this one and then just white does nothing and then black takes, and yeah, I think black is winning that because it's like the two pawns are really strong and you can just kind of slowly advance both of them and white will be very passive. Not like totally sure, but I would definitely always take black in that position. So definitely good chances.
Yeah,
Because white just doesn't have a lot of counterplay.
I agree. I tend to agree with you. Which I was happy that I even got this position. I mean, from the disastrous start. I mean, the opening was.
Yeah, I mean it's like right, maybe it wasn't the most sound sacrifice, but it gets you out of that position where you're super passive, and now at least you have some counter chances. Yeah, I think definitely it feels like a good practical decision overall.
Yeah, I had many good practical decisions in this tournament and many not good practical decisions in this tournament.
Hmm.
Uh, when I was lost, I made the greatest move. I mean, if we have time for another game, we
Oh
can
yeah, maybe we could
see,
see real quick. Which game was that?
yeah, the fifth game.
Hmm.
I I had, I mean, I forgot my opening theory there in the fifth game. And I just started to calculate it, and I calculated something that I thought giving me some counterplay, but my opponent shows me that no, I'm just down a pawn for nothing, basically.
Hmm.
That's a game against Nahum. That's
Oh,
his
okay,
name.
let me adjust the names here.
But then I made the swindle of the year, I think. The swindle was so.
Cool.
So this line I think I know. I mean, really tricky one, the knight h4 line.
Yeah.
And here okay. I knew e4, e5 is the move, and I knew okay, and I just simply forgot what to do here. I have many options,
Mm.
but I knew I'm fine here.
Hmm.
I ended up playing g5
Yeah.
because I knew that if first I thought if he plays five, I can simply take e5, and then when he takes the queen, I can take with the king and take the c4. But then I saw knight take g4,
Hmm.
which is
That kills
unpleasant.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very unpleasant. So that's out of the table. I thought about bishop c4, which was the move, but I wasn't too sure about it.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, I thought I can simply take here on d4, and yeah, I have e5, but didn't evaluate it correctly in the game.
Right. So you have to
Mm,
know this trick, right? That takes. You have bishop f7.
yeah, I am familiar. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah,
That's fine.
exactly right.
But during the game, did you have this in mind, or?
No, no, not at
Hmm.
all. But the line I calculated seemed promising with, and he went for the line. I mean, what we'll see in the game is what I
Hmm.
calculated. Yes, and
So
bishop, yeah, queen takes and bishop to g5. And I thought it's interesting. I mean,
yeah.
it's really interesting. Um, I mean, I saw all up to here, up to
Hmm.
bishop 5. That's why I went for it. But yeah, apparently I have nothing. And the knight d7 just stops everything.
Yeah. Let me go back a sec. So earlier this bishop c4 tactic. The point is that black's queen is lost because the king is pulled away, and then king e7, ef6, and yeah, no way to defend the queen here. So yeah, if you don't know this one, then it's like you're entering a really sharp position, um, and not knowing your way around. So it's kind of like walking in a minefield a little bit,
Yeah,
because it does get very sharp, like e4, e5.
I
And I used
mean,
to
I
do
am
this a lot
familiar
as a
with the
d4
tactic.
player. Yeah,
If I had it in, I mean, Puzzle Rush or something, I would blitz it in a second. But to see it from far, no, that
Y-
I
y-
could.
yeah, because you're in the opening still, so you're not like full calculation mode. You're just figuring out like what to
No,
do,
but I
and
forgot what to do. I started to do my
yeah,
calculation here, and I think I had 20, 25 thoughts about this move, and I ended up playing extremely sharp line that I calculated.
right. But not so bad. I mean, it does look pretty interesting.
Yeah,
So yeah, knight d7 here, and so you're getting your pawn back, but maybe not, huh? Because
no, because it can take on f6, and if I take here on g7, then it
yeah,
take with the bishop, and I'm sort of trouble.
right. So we're kind of yeah, we end up pawn down.
Yeah, and I thought, oh, right, I have two bishops. I still have some counterplay, but no, even that's like, yeah, I play bishop c5 instantly, and oh, I don't even have this. So
Yeah, yeah, black is pretty solid.
yeah,
So unfortunately, I mean, your opponent seems like he got out very nicely. Like he just figured
yeah,
it out,
yeah,
like knight
exactly,
d7.
exactly. That was disappointing. And here I just playing for tricks. I play f3 thing, and I had the king f2 and king g3 in mind. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Nice.
yeah, and here I
Oh wow.
objectively I think, yeah, objectively I think king takes h4 is worse than c takes d4. But I mean, I didn't say how we can win immediately.
Yeah.
If I take on d4, then I just suffer slowly. So I say, nah, let's, yeah. I mean, that's a good advice I got from Naroditsky, I think. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Naroditsky videos. He said, when your opponent goes in one way, just change the pace of the game. Even if you're worse, then it will make their life tougher, even if it's objectively worse.
Yeah, for sure. And it definitely feels harder. Like I don't know. I mean, this position, I would say it's certainly doesn't look like an easy one for black. Even though you're pawn down, like you have the center, you have like
Oh, I thought not about rook takes a7, but g5 after.
oh,
Yeah,
g5, sorry. Okay. So that position maybe not so clear, but g5, okay, then it's like two pawns
yeah, for nothing.
might be, yeah, that might be pretty tough, right? So then your other option is just position where you're up in exchange, but for some pawns,
Yeah, so
um,
I saw.
maybe,
I mean,
yeah, more counterplay.
I saw bishop f2, and I saw also bishop takes c3, which were both good options for black, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Also, knight no, not immediately to e5 is a blunder, but yeah, bishop takes e3 and bishop to f2. And I thought that bishop to f2 is more forcing, and I have to go to g5, and then the game is crazy. So yeah, that's what happened.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a look. So
And here I
takes
thought
bishop
I
d1.
played bishop to e2, thinking I could take on f3, actually, when he takes with the pawn.
Oh,
Yeah, and play king f4 and trapping his knight because it doesn't
uh-huh.
have many good options with the knight. But after playing bishop to e2, after he takes, I saw that he has in between move bishop to e3 before knight takes.
Hmm,
Yeah,
that's a nice one.
yeah, and that was cold shower for this line.
But wait, what
Uh,
if here, what if he just goes like knight h4?
yeah, I also thought about that, and I thought that the knight gets trapped with rook h2 and king g4.
Isn't there just the f5 square? Like, I can go go back.
But I also missed, yes, also, oh, wait, yeah, but I have check first. And I guess I have check first on the e file. And but also here, I think he always have. I mean, even if it didn't have bishop to e7, he has g5 always. I mean, I attack a knight, he protects, and when I take the pawn on g5, he can just
But
put
wait,
it
isn't
back
there
on.
just like just knight f5?
Mm, yeah, here definitely. I don't know. That's
Oh,
I
okay.
thought it is getting trapped, but yeah, it doesn't work. So
But yeah, this one is like even maybe even
yeah,
easier
but
for black.
yeah, so
So
I had to play
yeah,
bishop
bishop
d1, and
d1.
really
Yeah,
bad.
looks looks very scary, but
Yeah,
active king.
yeah, and here bishop d2 was always so surprising. Yeah, and there I saw. I mean, we play king e7, and he has two main threats
Yeah.
that I saw. The first one, the easiest, was knight to f6 and rook g8, right?
Right. Yeah.
And the other one, which is a bit tougher to see, but it's also a plan, it's bishop to g5 to f6, and playing, I mean, bishop f6 check and rook h8 is also made
Hmm.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I try to trick him and play c4, knowing that I'm losing.
Right. So knight
Uh,
f6. Rookie
yeah, and
one.
they were playing rook e1. Yeah, that was the point of c4. I play
Oh,
c4 to play rook e1 and rook e3. So I play c4 to open my rook, the third rank, the third
so
my rook.
he
And
doesn't take,
here,
but if he took, you
oh,
want to
if
give.
it takes, I meant to play rook e3.
Yeah.
And at least I'm gaining peace and still game. I mean, yeah,
Well,
probably.
you've given the exchange back, but yeah, what would?
Yeah, but I'm not getting mate. So here, bishop to e2, or check first, maybe. I'm
Hmm.
not sure. Yeah, and still we have some games. I mean, if we want to trade rooks, I'm maybe happy with it because and then take on f7. I'm worse. Of course, I'm worse. I'm even completely losing.
Well, it's
Mm,
yeah, possibly three pawns down after rook e8. Take. Even though
Oh,
it's like
even
opposite
protects
color
the
bishops,
f7. I
yeah,
don't even.
it feels like a lot of pawns.
Yeah, too many
So I'm
pawns.
not sure. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, but I
he
didn't see
he
any other
gets
chance.
yeah. I mean, what
It's
else? You got to try this. No, no, no. Of course, of
yeah,
course. But he gets
and
scared. He goes king d7.
yeah, I don't know. He blitzed it out, king d7.
Wow.
I mean, he played knight f6. He kind of pushed it on the board like Kasparov style and said, "Yeah, now you resign." And I blitzed rook e1. It was what is that? And play king d7.
Wow.
And yeah, then yeah,
I mean, king d7 doesn't make any sense though. Like you can still take on f6 if you wanted, and then he has to
yeah.
he has to take your rook. But man,
I mean, I think I wouldn't take on f6 in the other position. I think I would take e1 instead.
mm-hmm.
Mm, yeah, and then I'm surely win some pawns. I mean, he has to move with his knight now, I guess, or f2 first in between. But
Yeah, let's say f2. You go rook f1.
one, yeah, here
And
maybe want to protect knight to e4.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, now I'm taking f7, I
At least you
guess.
can take here, or yeah, you can also
And
think about going after this pawn as
yeah, but
well.
here f5 maybe if I'm not taking immediately.
Yeah, yeah. Let's say you take here. Um, Yeah, kind of just like some a little bit messy for black, though it's two pawns.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, I
but
know
your
I'm
best
losing.
chance. Yeah,
I know I'm losing,
right.
but it's still complicated. I think what he saw was that I'm taking the bishop, and he really liked that bishop. So he said, "Okay, I'm losing." I don't, not sure what he saw there. Yeah,
Yeah, it's weird. But now you're just rook
um,
up.
that goes. Yeah, yeah. Now I'm rook up, and I think I converted pretty well.
Oh wow, I just gave it back, but
Yeah,
he's totally
because
dominated.
I'm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice, nice. Well,
yeah.
yeah,
So
beautiful swindle. Look at that.
yeah, that's a last round window. That I think. Think I heard you say that in last round everything can happen. I mean, you're so tired from a week
That's true.
playing. Yeah,
Yeah, a
so
lot
that's
of
what
times
happened.
they say you got to save a lot of energy for that last round. No, I definitely feel it. Like it's people are tired and it's just like psychological stress because maybe there's like some prizes on the line or something, or like you just want to get the tournament over with, or yeah, it's like everything's ending. You're thinking about how you're gonna go home and where you're gonna do at home. So it's just like yeah, all these weird psychological factors as well in the final round. So
Yeah, I really wanted to
weird
this
things can
tournament
happen.
to end because I mean, after the third game was I mean, the straw that broke me. You can see the last move, I guess, the last 5 minutes of this game.
In the third
Uh,
game,
the third game, yeah. I also lost after really tough battle. I mean, it was a crazy game with many tactics, and I thought I controlled the game, but it was fine. And then he wasn't fine, and I was winning, and then I lost.
were you winning in the end game?
Um, I mean, here I thought I'm pressuring because I have the center, and tactically I prove it's right because yeah, I played the queen takes b7, and wanted to exchange. We have 3 minutes on the clock each here,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
which is crazy position.
Yeah.
And yeah, I saw this and knight to d4. Uh, yeah, and knight takes b5.
Oh, so it takes, he hits you with this. So yeah, this is like crazy, crazy town.
Yeah, but he can't take the knight ever, and I think I'm winning here. I mean,
So if you can't take the knight, then you should just like drop back, yeah?
yeah, I played a good move, I think, which is bishop takes, which, but yeah, that gave him counterplay. And then with 1 minute on the clock, I played horrible move.
On knight c3. So, well, let's, I
I
mean,
thought,
this looks
yeah,
scary.
I thought he's going for this. I mean, to hold the draw. I mean, to
Right.
perpet me,
Yeah.
and I just put my knight on c3, and so that I can move to e1, and he doesn't have perpetual. But yeah, I'm just hangman
Right.
on the board.
I mean, well, that was his threat. Yeah, he wasn't just threatening perpetual. He's threatening to mate with
Yeah,
this one.
I don't know. I was blind to this bishop, and my mind was, yeah,
Right.
it's going.
I guess you have
I
knight
mean,
d4.
with
Yeah.
my 1 minute on the clock, I didn't see the opposition. Like, if I had five,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's tough now. You're yeah, big big time pressure.
yeah, yeah,
Unfortunate.
which yeah, which was really disappointing because I played a really good game there. I think.
Yeah. By the way, knight c3 doesn't even save you from perpetual, not to rub
Yeah,
salt. But like it's so. So what was the right move then?
bishop to d5,
Uh-huh.
which is not that hard,
All right, so
I
check,
think.
check,
Yeah,
then
and knight to d4,
knight
to
d4.
e4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you were right about, I mean, I don't know how you see it so quickly. But if I would play bishop f1 and not bishop takes c6, it doesn't have anything. I mean, it doesn't have all this nonsense.
Yeah, yeah, I was just trying to cover this check, so
Yeah,
yeah, it was just
exactly what I should have done.
right.
And yeah, didn't work. I mean, it is working, but I didn't do it. It
So what was the overall time control?
was 90 plus 30. No, I mean, I would be happy if I had 30 more minutes in move 40 because, well, I mean, this game was, I think, about 40 move, and
Yeah.
the first game was 60 move, and I lost on time, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, in the final position, it's a draw, but I didn't see the draw
Yeah.
after all.
Yeah, I mean it's tough like this time pressure because the 30 seconds it feels like a lot, but it's like it's not that much, especially when you're like nervous and stressed out. Both sides are kind of shaking and yeah, um,
Yeah, also, I think
not so easy.
when I have 90 plus 30, I try to play it nice. I mean, to not miss, and when I have tactics, and I tend to do a lot of 10, 15 minutes moves. I mean, positions I think are critical.
Hmm.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what to work on, or if to work on the time pressure. I mean, think less and get and don't get on time pressure, or just improve my handling in time pressures. I mean, and to how to handle a position in time pressure,
Yeah, I mean personally
which
I
are both
don't like
important.
time
Yeah,
pressure. It's just like it's so easy to mess up and pretty much everyone plays worse, in time trouble.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
you could try to improve that part so that you don't play as worse, but like it's always gonna be messy. So I try to just kind of stay ahead on the clock as much as I can. Um, and you just have to kind of balance it out. Like if it's a sharp position, it's a sharp position. You have to spend a lot of time and take as much time as you need to figure it out. But if it's kind of like a quieter position, then I think there is value in you know choosing a plan and yeah, not spending like 10, 15 minutes on every position until your time kind of ticks down. Jesse
Yeah.
actually he made some videos like called separating the tactical from the non-tactical that I think is kind of about this because he was talking about how he like spends a lot of time in positions that are more strategic and there's not really a lot to calculate early on,
Hmm.
so you could be saving a lot of time just by not spending it early in the game. But it really depends on you and your opponent. Like basically, if you stay a little bit ahead of them, that I think that's kind of nice. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
you could
I
definitely think
mean,
about that.
the type of opponent I really hate to play against is the opponent that just blitz out the moves, like not
Right.
thinking and yeah, just playing. And it's not always good moves. I mean, I play against opponent like this and then think and they just blitz the first move they see that which is okay, they blitz it.
Yeah, you just have
And
to remember that at some point they're gonna blunder something because they're not looking too deeply. And so
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And I'm not sure what to do with my time management, but yeah, I should work on it in some way, which
Yeah.
is which is probably the most difficult to train because you can only train it on tournaments, basically. I mean,
Well, no,
games
I
and
mean
tournaments.
you can play training games, and
Yeah,
this was the thing that Bot
exactly.
Vinnick recommended. Like, just play training games where your only goal is to not get into time pressure. So win or lose doesn't really matter in the game. You're still trying to play well, but like your main goal is to not get into time trouble. And then if you accomplish that, then it's like you achieved your goal.
Yeah, but games are tough. Yeah, classical games are tough. It's really exhausting, and you don't always have the time for them. Like um, the usual training is 30 minutes a day, and it's okay.
Mm,
A classical game can take 3 hours. It's
yeah.
yeah, it depends on your time, basically.
Yeah, so really I think all you need to do is like one game a week. If it's like a classical game, I think one game is enough. But it doesn't have to be every week, like be every couple of weeks or so. But I think that is a thing to focus on is just not getting into time trouble because it'll just I think it's always gonna hurt. It's just always gonna
All right.
be difficult. Um,
Do you have any recommendation? I mean, besides looking at my opponent clock and stay ahead of it, like playing the first 20 moves in 30 minutes all the time, or something like that.
yeah, I
Do
would
you
say
do
it's
that?
kind of like a thing you almost like you get used to it in terms of the tempo, like how quickly you're playing.
Hmm.
So for me, the most important thing is just training, but with that mindset, like you're just determined not to get into time pressure.
Yeah,
And then you'll kind of find the right balance because of course there will be some games where if the opponent knows the opening better than you and it's sharp, like you just have to spend time there. Otherwise, you're very likely to like blunder something. Like the game you had, like the Rogozin we saw, you didn't know what to do. Like yeah, that's a position where you should spend time and try to figure it out because otherwise, like you're just gonna suffer. Um,
yeah,
but in like other positions, if maybe you have a lot of good options, then you should recognize that like at some point like the game is going to open up, you'll need your time to calculate, and so it's probably more practical to just choose something and move on from there.
yeah. I
So
guess I still
yeah, it's all
doesn't
about
have.
finding this balance, which I think is very tricky. Like it's really not easy.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
But the other side of it is your calculation. So I think honestly I feel like the way to strengthen your time trouble play overall is if you really strengthen your calculation, then I think you'll feel like very confident about your calculation skills. And then you'll know, like, okay, even if you do get into a time scramble, you'll still be okay because you'll see quick tactics, you won't blunder quickly, or you won't blunder as much under time pressure, and so you'll be fine there. And I think you do want to have that confidence, but of course you have to kind of build that up by solving a lot of like exercises and doing like at your level I think you could be doing like aggregate puzzles and like some of the more challenging stuff.
Yeah, I told you I'm working about on perfectile chess
Nice, right?
currently,
Mm-hmm.
uh, which is very fun. I do 3 puzzles a day. I try to take 2 from the FM and 1 from the IM. When I finish the IM section, I do the GM, and yeah, I try to improve my calculation there. I give myself about uh, 10 to 15 minutes to find the correct plan. And,
Mm-hmm.
even if I find it, I try to calculate, I mean, to find opponent resources and defenses, but I limit myself to 15 minutes. If after 15 minutes, I mean, yeah, I look at the answers and see what he said about it, um, which is nice. I mean, they have tough puzzles.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's great. I think
yeah,
that's a really good book of exercises, as you know. So that's
yeah, yeah.
awesome. I would say just keep doing that kind of every day or, five
Yeah,
days a
that's what
week.
I'm doing. And my calculation, I think, improved a lot. I had
Yeah.
really great moments of calculations in this game. I mean, if you look at this game, for example, I had a queen d2 move, which is very, uh, I think it's about 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here, yeah, here, exactly here, queen d2. And that was tough position. I mean, not tough, but I had a lot of options. And I saw that my a5, which I previously blitzed, was kind of weak, and play queen d2 to look so they can. I mean, first of all, queen d2 is not the first move that jumped to mind. I had a
Sure.
lot of
Hmm.
moves. I think the first move I thought about was one of the knight to e5. Um, and then I saw this idea that I want to connect my rooks and I want that. And so I play queen d2 with the reason I can play. I kind of hope that my opponent blunder into what I do. I mean, it's not blunder, but he did play what I calculated. I saw c takes d5,
Hmm.
e takes d5 to fix my pawn structure, and I saw the move bishop to b4.
Hmm.
And I think in previous versions of me, like before 3 or 4 months, I would just dismiss this move uh,
You're like
immediately.
losing a pawn, like, oh, no good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I, it's not even a plan. I mean, what I do, I just play queen d3. I'm just fine.
Hmm.
But there I saw queen f4, which was playing the game. And he can't take the pawn because it's b8 rook is hanging.
Mm.
Yeah, and I was really happy about it, about this one.
Yeah, it's a very good example about like justifying your moves, right? With calculation.
Yeah,
Which I think, yeah,
yeah,
there really should be actually a lot more material on this because it's like so common, but not really clearly explained.
exactly. It's not. I mean, queen d2 is not obvious, and I don't think it's the best move in the position.
Hmm.
I don't know what's the best move in the position. Actually, I
Yeah,
don't remember
but it
the.
is the kind of thing you want to be willing to do. It's very important.
Yeah,
A lot of times, yeah,
yeah,
there'll
yeah,
be moves we want to make, but like there's some tactics and you have to kind of make it work.
exactly. And
So,
you
yeah,
don't get positions like they can puzzle because it's not really a puzzle. It's not a puzzle. And I'm not winning. And just develop tactically, I
yeah.
guess.
Now there are lots of puzzles like this actually. I feel like usually Aggard likes to have these kinds of like positional puzzles where it's like you have to do some positional goal, but then you have to calculate something to like make it work. So it can be,
Yeah,
you can find them, but they're pretty rare. It's not super common, this stuff.
yeah, they're rare in. I mean, they're rare in books, but they're really common in games.
Yeah,
I
in game
guess.
you can have like five, six, seven of these moments, like exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's good that you, yeah, have this like confident feeling of like you can rely on your calculation.
yeah.
And then, oh wow,
But
he played f6 g5 to like harass your queen, but then he didn't take your pawn.
when
Uh,
here,
yeah.
it doesn't work. I guess. I mean, I saw that I can take my pawn and play bishop c5 in the end.
Hmm.
Oh, you mean the a5 pawn?
Yeah.
I thought the d4 pawn. Sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Well, I thought that's why he's doing all this. He played like f6 and
yeah, I also
g5.
think all this because of that. Um, Yeah, he didn't end up. I mean, here I would be happy if he would take my a5 pawn because I think he overextended his king side. I mean, it's still game.
Mm.
Uh,
Hmm.
Maybe it is good for him to take a5, but I was really happy that he has to play all these moves. I didn't see
Yeah.
f6 and g5 plan when I
Right.
calculated. I saw the queen f4. I saw that it's working and my rooks are released and I get more. I mean, I have some plans of how to develop my pieces, and so I go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah. Cool. Cool.
and I actually calculated it really quickly. I mean, from the moment I had Queen D2 on mind.
Hmm.
I mean, it started with, all right, what I left in the position? I need to protect the a5. How can I protect the a5? Queen d2. Oh, queen d2 doesn't work because it takes and bishop b4. Oh, maybe it does work.
Right.
Yeah, that
No, I
was
mean
the
that's
thought
great. I think
process.
that's a great way to kind of approach like middle game positions. And so as you do more exercises, I feel like this part will kind of naturally get stronger because now you kind of you've seen the truth a little bit.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, like chess is a very concrete game. Like you can make things work that might at first glance look bad. And yeah, it's like a nice sign of growth when you're considering moves that in the past you would have dismissed.
yeah,
I think that's very
exactly.
important. Um,
Yeah, and I think I'm sure the books helps a lot in this kind of situations.
oh yeah.
The calculation work, yeah. So recommended for everyone. Just calculate your way through.
Yeah, guys,
That's
work
it.
on your tactics. People are always like, what should I work on? Everyone has somewhere to go with their tactics and calculation. Like, unless you're just the best tactical person in the world, like you can always improve. And I'm talking to myself as well. Like, I'm gonna be playing a tournament in like 2 weeks, so one of the big things I have to do is start calculating stuff at the board. Like every day, working on it and getting in shape. So, are you gonna play anytime soon?
And I don't have a tournament planned yet. Coronavirus start to hit again in
Mm-hmm.
Israel, so nothing planned. Also, holidays are coming, so no, not soon, not in
Too bad.
September at least.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I feel I'm in very good shape and I want to just play more. But yeah, that's
Scotty's plugging the classical tournament in Tokyo. Yeah,
maybe.
good time to join the classical.
Yeah, maybe I'll do it. I just need to figure out if I can do it with. I mean, holidays season is coming to Israel, and I need to see where I am. That's
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, let's finish up there. I've got another stream coming up, but thanks for joining me. This was fun.
Thank you,
Uh,
Kostya. You helped me a lot.
oh
I
yeah,
gained a lot.
absolutely.
Yeah, and good luck in your tournament. I mean, we have two
Thanks.
weeks. You said.
Yeah, 2 weeks. It'll be tough, but I think it's fun. I think I'm looking forward to it.
I'm sure you'll get your GM norm. I'm rooting for you.
Oh man, well, we'll see. I think I have a lot of work to do to be honest, but I'm trying. I am spending some time at least every day. So yeah.
All right.
Okay, I will let you go then. And for everyone else,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Thank you very
take
much,
a break. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I'll be right back.
and thank to all the dojo. Bye bye. See you in chat.
See you guys.
Bye bye.
Yeah, guys. All right. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the lesson. Good to see everyone in the chat. Pumpkin the cat, Thorbitals, Giant Solemn. Yeah, I don't usually interact with chat much during the lessons. I just try to like focus, on the student, but hopefully you guys got something out of it. I thought there were some interesting games there, some useful lessons. So, yeah, I'm gonna take a break here, and then I'm gonna be doing the Patreon opening lab for August in about 30 minutes. So starting at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And there's a bunch of opening questions that I'll be answering in a little bit. So stay tuned for that. I think I'm just gonna leave the stream running so you guys can hang out if you want. But yeah, next stream is going to be in starting in about a half hour. So hopefully I'll see everyone in a bit.
We figured you might be able to tell us what's